Hi there guys and welcome to another Palace preview on the channel. Hope you're having a good day. Obviously Easter weekend, it's been lovely weather out here down in South London. So I hope you're all going to have a good Easter. I want to start and kick things off by saying there's quite a lot of stuff that, I say quite a lot, there's some interesting team news that have happened for both Arsenal and Palace over the last week or so. So I'll obviously get into more information on that in this preview, but there's also a lot of stuff that's been coming out. Obviously, our kit launch for next season is happening in a few weeks' time, I believe. Obviously, comment below if you know the exact date. I'm not quite sure. But there's been some hints as to what the kit may be, our new home kit, obviously 50-year anniversary of a specific kit. And there's been definitely two sides to that kit launch in terms of people backing it and what they're expecting from it. So obviously I'm going to touch on that, but I'll delve into it more on a separate video because there's obviously, like I said, there's two sides to it, and I think it's going to be too much for one video, and it's not really right for this preview. So I will get into that in another video. But today, of course, going to touch on the Arsenal game away to the Emirates on Easter Sunday. Now, unfortunately, because it's on Easter Sunday, which I think is ridiculous, why we should have fixtures on Easter Sunday at all, to be honest. But because it's Easter Sunday, unfortunately, I had plans with the family for Easter. We had people coming over, and we're making, we're having a meal and everything. So I will not be at the Arsenal game, and I know that's. I'm sorry if that's disappointed a few of you because I wasn't able to vlog the last game either because I wasn't there for that. The City game at home. So I apologise. It's coming towards the end of the season now, so hopefully I can get a few more in before we finish. But obviously because of work and certain things like this Easter coming up, and certain things have made it impossible for me to be able to go to the games. So I apologise for that. I will try to get more content out for you guys to make up for the lack of vlogs. But hopefully I will get some in before the end of the season. But anyway, that aside, now let's get into the game. Obviously, some interesting news coming out in the week. First and foremost, from Palace's point of view, Jeffrey Schlupp is out for the rest of the season. He's injured, and that's a blow because he's probably been the most improved Palace player this season. Of course, comment below your thoughts on that. Who do you think is the most improved player at Palace this season? I think without a doubt it's been Jeffrey Schlupp. It's been really good management from Roy, moving him into the midfield, seeing how he's developed in that role has been really interesting, and he's been a massive part of the team since probably about November onwards. Slow start to the season, not much game time, but once he's had some game time and he's slowly been drip fed into the side, I think there's been a large case for him to be a starter in the team, especially since Christmas. So he'll be a blow. Obviously a good squad player to have as well. If he's not starting, having him on the bench and just having him as an option is great for the team. Apart from that though, as far as I'm aware, of course, we've got the problems at the back that go without saying. Obviously, no Tompkins, no Sakho. But apart from that, it's pretty much exactly the same squad. On Arsenal's point of view, though, Ramsey got injured against Napoli midweek. Obviously, a massive win away at Napoli and a massive result for them to go through it in general into the next round of the Europa League. Let me just readjust here. But alongside Ramsey, also Xhaka is meant to be out, and Torreira looks like it could be a doubt as well. Both of the Xhaka and Torreira touch and go. They might be fit for Sunday, but fingers crossed they're not, because if they aren't, then that's three really big midfield players gone, and then you're looking at Guendouzi and maybe El Neni starting in midfield. And that would be a massive boost, I think, for our chances of getting any result. Personally, I think we're going to struggle to get a result at the Emirates just because of past performances and the fact that Arsenal this season are just ridiculous at home. They just don't lose at home. But of course, I'll delve into that in a little bit. Let's get into the team news then in terms of the formation I think we should line up with. Now I want to make it clear that this team I'm going to pick based on how I think Arsenal will set up. I believe Arsenal will go with three at the back with wing backs because that has worked so well for them this season, and I think it showed it with Napoli in midweek, the way Kolasinac and Maitland-Niles bombed forward. They were a massive part of their success away to Napoli. They've got a lot of space in those areas, and I think why change up from that? I think that's worked so well for them. I don't think they will look to change. I think Emery will stick with that sort of system. So I believe he'll go with the wing-back option with three at the back. Now, if Arsenal do set up like that, which, as I said, I think they will, I believe that we should go with two up top. The reason being, having one man up top, whether that's Batshuayi or Benteke, so much easier to defend with 3 centre backs than if you had 2. If you have 2 there, it's a different ball game. It's much harder to defend, and I think that we've got to be brave. We're going to be safe. We're staying up. Be brave. Go away. I know there's a chance it could be like last season and we go and concede 4 in the first half, but be brave. Go out there. Nothing to lose in this, and take the game to Arsenal. Putting 2 up top here would be really, really good sign, I think, from Roy, because there's been questions over him adapting his game depending on which teams he's playing. There's been big question marks over that specifically, and I think this would be a massive step forward for him. And dare I say it, I think it's stupid to say, but winning some of the fans back, because I know there are some specific sets of groups of fans who really don't want him at the club anymore. It's obviously a split decision on that. But anyway, I'm believing Arsenal are going to go 3 at the back, so I'm going to go with Guaita in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Dan, Kelly, Van Aanholt as the back line, and then I'm going 4 in the midfield and 2 up top. Simple 4-4-2. Probably can, and you can change it to 4-5-1 as well if things aren't working out and you want to just sit tight and be more solid like we were away at the Etihad, for example. Just be more tight. You can obviously drop a player back in, or you can sub one off and easily. It's easy to change at a 4-4-2 as well if things aren't going our way. So obviously Zaha, Townsend out wide. I personally would have Luca and Chiarte in the middle for this. Reason being, I think obviously Chiarte is very good at going box to box. I think he poses a really good threat in the air as well, and Luca, he's a nailed on, obviously being captain, but I think alongside him in this game, having that physicality, especially because the midfield of Arsenal looks like it could be weak, trying to exploit that the best anywhere we can. I think we've got to add physicality into that, bully Guendouzi and El Neni, and I think they're there to be bullied if we stick those players into the team. Obviously, Arsenal fans, if you're watching this as well, correct me if I'm wrong there, I could be, but that's my opinion on things. Try and bully Arsenal as much best we can. Try and make it as take away their home advantage if we can. Then on up top, I put Batshuayi, Benteke, Belgium connection up front, and see how things go there. Obviously, try and put crosses into the box. Both of them a good aerial threat, especially Benteke. Hopefully, they can feed off each other, link up play there. And we'll see what happens. That's if they play 3 at the back, Arsenal. It all depends on how Arsenal set up, I think. If they do go 4 at the back, I think Roy will go to the 1 up top method, 1 up top formation, I should say. And I believe that it could be a toss-up. I think when you're playing these top teams, you've got to play your best side. And for me, that's Batshuayi up front. But I can easily see him putting Benteke in. And I wouldn't have a problem with that either, because Benteke, I think, has deserved to start in recent weeks. Obviously, comment below your thoughts, what formation you would put, and whether you agree with me there. What players do you think should play instead? For the game, obviously, as I said, I think it all depends on how our full-backs play. Arsenal have been very, very good this season with their wing-backs and their wide play, and obviously their link-up with Lacazette, Aubameyang up front. How we stop them, I don't know, with Dan and Kelly at centre-back, but I think got to just try and sit deep. We can't leave too much room behind because of the way they play. So I'm more than happy us sitting deep with 2 banks of 4, literally 2 banks of 4 if we play 4-4-2 and be bold. But then to do what we do best and counter quickly, because I do think that Arsenal in particular leave a lot of space between their midfield line and their back line, especially when Guendouzi plays, from what I've seen. Again, Arsenal fans, correct me if I'm wrong there. But from my opinion and from what I've seen in live games and other games for Arsenal this season in particular, there's a lot of space in between the lines. So there's great opportunity there to counter quickly and have room to work with as well, and not be. They do recover quite well, Arsenal, but there's a chance there if we can break quickly to get at them. And I think it will come down to that at the end of the day. Whether we get a result or not, I believe we won't. And I know it sounds very doom and gloom to me, but away at Arsenal, we've had a really poor record there over the years. One of the grounds from the top 6 that we've not won at since getting promoted. And we managed to get a lovely draw in there one season, I remember, with Balasti firing in the equaliser. Adebayor with the assist in that game in particular. If we get a draw, I'd be very happy. But Arsenal are just so good at home, especially this season. Incredible record at home. So it's going to be very tricky, but I'm sure it's a sellout for the away end, as always, and I'm sure we'll just, we'll own the stadium in terms of our support. Last year I was there at the game, and it was just so one-sided, the support. Arsenal were 4-0 up at one point, and it was still rocking in the away end. So that's what I love. One of the many reasons I love this club. So I'm sure we're going to embarrass the home fans yet again on the Sunday, whatever the scoreline is. And we're just going to enjoy it. It's coming to the end of the season now. Brighton could be going down. That Cardiff game's going to be massive. Obviously, thoughts on that will be coming up at a later date. But comment below your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this preview. Score prediction, if I'm going to have to pick one, I'd probably go 3-1 Arsenal. Like I said, they do score a lot at home, and we've had a poor record there. So I'm going 3-1 Arsenal, but hopefully Palace can surprise me. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Comment your thoughts down below. I'll see you next time.